Get your speak ready.
All right, 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You guys already know what time it is. Right here, we were actually joined by a phenomenal band. That's right. We got Taking on Waters right here live on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, 99.9 FM, the radio dial here in Prescott, Ontario. How are you guys doing this evening?
Awesome.
Doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yep.
Hey, you are most certainly welcome. Thank you for just giving us a bit of your time here this evening. Obviously, I know you guys are all in different locations. You guys are currently enjoying spring break, so thank you for just leaving your party there for a little bit to come chop it up with my radio station and myself, man. So for that, thank you guys.
We appreciate the break from our kids, so it's right back at you.
They're partying harder than we are.
But also, guys, if I'm not going to keep you away too long. That is, but for the listeners that actually aren't quite familiar with Taking on Water, I was wondering if you can actually introduce yourselves individually and tell us a bit more about yourselves as individual members of this amazing band.
Dustin, you first.
All right, I'm Dustin. I started the band with Patty. Well, actually, he started the band with other people. And I don't know how he found me. Was I in the band?
Yeah. You're first generation.
All right, cool. I'm first generation. Still don't know how I know him, but yeah, we started jamming. He had some other songs that he was playing me, and then he decided he didn't like those anymore. So that's kind of how Patty writes songs. Writes stuff, and then we'll try to record it, and he changes it all, and then we forget all the songs by the time we've recorded it. But yeah, I live in San Diego. There's my daughter. She's rollerblading. Yeah, drums. I've been in a ton of bands. I listen mostly to metal. But then what are we, pop punk? What would you call it?
No, I don't know. Melodic. We like calling it melodic.
Melodic.
All right.
Like melodic.
So yeah, and now I'm getting into that. I grew up listening to is that John? I'm losing him. Okay, well, yeah. Is that mine? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, we all have the same influences. Grew up listening to punk and metal and annoying my parents playing the drums. And here I am. Go ahead, Patty.
Yeah, I gotta say, a drummer is the most valuable asset. I mean, can you imagine like training, growing up, practicing that fucking instrument? Jesus Christ, dude! You need the best parents of all time.
Yeah, I know. I was pretty annoying. They sent me to the military when I was 17 to get me out of the house.
They shipped you out, dude.
So, John, you or me?
You're breaking up,
I don't know. Okay, I think John's forgot. Okay, so basically, I got in contact with Dustin and Greg on Craigslist. I was pretty hungover one morning and decided I wanted to try and rekindle the punk rock thing. And then, long story short, basically, we got Greg, we got Dustin, we had another bassist. He thought we weren't good enough. That was cool.
He was right.
He was a nice guy. We got another bassist, and he wasn't good enough. And then we got Big John, and it's been lovely ever since. All we try to do is keep Big John sober. That's it. That's all we try and do. So over to Big John.
So I remember the first Craigslist posting. I have it saved on my computer here, I think somewhere. And the song Patty posted was, I think it's off our fucking first album, John Doe. That's what he posted. I heard it, I was like, oh wow. So then I hooked up. He was super hungover when I came to try out for the band. He's barely he's hurting. And then I played one fucking riff or whatever. He's like, you're in the band if you want it. You're in the band. So I'm like, oh shit, that was easy.
But the funny thing, just to interrupt Big John about Big John is when Big John came, Big John's toured with Mad Caddies and stuff. So in my eyes, he was already in the band. So it didn't matter. But he came over to my house and he was so big and so nervous that it didn't really make sense. So that was fine. After a few weeks of John being in the band, we decided to. Oh, we were always recording. We actually recorded before we played shows. But Big John came around to record, and I couldn't work out what was wrong with him because this time he wasn't nervous.
Oh shit!
So he came in.
Here's this fucking story.
Our little DIY kind of studio office area, and he was in there. And I went back out to my wife, and I was like, "Hey, do you notice something strange about John?" And she's like, "No, he's just shit-faced." So I was like, "Oh," but this was midday, so I went back out into the little office DIY area, and John was trying to plug the jack cable into the amp, and he couldn't even get it plugged in. And I was like, "Yo, dude, I think we'll call it for today." So there you go. That was John.
In my defense, I think I could have pulled it off.
No,
you just needed a few extra moments. You know what I mean? Just find the hole.
Well, not to Patty's standard.
But hey, you know what, John? Like the old saying goes, man, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. So just look at it like that, and you'll be all right.
Exactly.
But obviously, because like you said there, Patty, you guys went through a few different bassists and a few different members before you actually found the right members and the right setup for this amazing band. When did you guys actually know to be like, wow, like this is actually the lineup? This is it. This is what we actually needed. Like, when did you guys actually notice that? Is that when Big John walked in the door, or was it the first time you guys actually jammed together?
Well, I guess, I've played in a load of bands. So was Dustin. So was Greg and John. Greg's not here at the moment, but when I seen Greg, I can't remember if I met Greg first before Dustin or what way that worked. But Greg's a very good-looking guy, and he's good at his instruments. So he was like golden ball straight away. We're like, right, okay, Greg's the star. He's our Backstreet Boy, and then. Yep. When we went and rehearsed firstly with Dustin, it was just so obvious that Dustin knows his shit. Like straight away, Dustin, you're playing whatever. Dustin has got the right. I don't mean just the right beat. Like his kicks fall in line with the rhythm of the song. Like stuff like after a while playing in bands, it's sometimes you struggle with older drummers getting that. Dustin got it straight away. So it was more like if we can keep Dustin, it'll be great. That's where we were at.
I was the hot guy though. I'm not the hot guy.
No, you weren't.
Greg usurped you.
And then it was just
fucking ruined. I quit.
It was just getting the bassist in. That was the part that we had a little bit of trouble with. But we got John now, so we're all. I think we've been together for about 3 years, maybe a little bit more in the current lineup. And as Dustin mentioned earlier, we like playing live shows, and we're now playing quite a lot. But we've recorded a shit ton because basically that's the way we do things. Because ultimately, because we're busy, we have kids, we have lives. So for us, we do a shit ton of songs, and the easiest way for us is to record them first, and then we can kind of play them later.
We're recording tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah, we're supposed to be recording tomorrow as well. So
it never ends, dude.
We've written a song for every person that's ever come to see us. Pretty much.
And also, guys, speaking of recordings, on July 19th of 2019, you guys actually released one of your very first projects titled False Start. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this earlier EP. And of course, is it actually still out there to be purchased or streamed today in 2023?
Yeah, it's on all the streaming channels. It was kind of just us all coming together. That was the very first one, and I think John joined just at that time, and we just put that out and basically built upon that. We play one song from that EP at the minute. We play John Doe, and
the first song that was on the Craigslist ad.
Yeah, exactly.
John Doe, yeah.
Big John's trying to bring a couple back, but everyone else is saying no. I'm open to it, but yeah.
Greg's
saying no. He's not here. We can put it on him.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you know what? It might maybe like in the fifth anniversary, you guys can do like a little 5th anniversary like tour, and that way John still gets what he wants and gets to perform them. You know what I mean? A little 5th anniversary like little mini tour.
Well,
that would be great.
We gotta tour Canada first.
Yeah, when are we getting out of Canada?
When are we gonna come to your neighborhood? That's the question.
I got to say, I definitely agree with that. So if any Canadian promoters are listening, you already know who to contact. Contact these guys. Let's get them out to the big, into the Great White North. But honestly, guys, if you're coming in the wintertime, definitely bundle up, because I can definitely tell you, unfortunately, there ain't no palm trees here. I wish there was, but there isn't.
I'll
Let's
keep
see.
that in mind.
There we go. There we go right there.
Oh man.
And also, John, a few moments ago, Patty actually mentioned that you had the opportunity to actually tour with the Mad Caddies. Just going back to that for a minute, what was it like actually just being able to share the stage with such an amazing, legendary band like them? Did you get the opportunity to meet them, or was it just completely separate? Like, you just opened up and then they kind of did their own thing.
No, I live with them, dude. I tour with them. So when you go on tour with the band, you're like in the shit with them. You're in the trenches. You're sharing the RV. You're dealing with the bullshit. So yeah, that was 20 years ago, right when they've gone on to have an amazing career. And we were opening for No Offense. We went across. We toured with No Use for a Name and Good Riddance and Guttermouth and like amazing bands, Ataris. So I did the whole North American tours and back in Canada and Europe. It was amazing. This is like one of the most incredible experiences of my life because, I went from playing bar shows like my band now to like the big stage, So it was a huge adjustment. Oh my God, there's like 10,000 people. But yeah, it was fun. And I just ran into the horn player Keith. Shout out to Keith, Santa Barbara. Shout out to Sasha. Shout out to my homies. Played with a bunch of guys. Yeah, it was good times.
And also as well, you guys are actually currently signed to 94 Records. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that opportunity. And of course, how did you guys ultimately land that deal with 94?
I kind of use signed as a loose, like for all these kind of record, the more indie record type deals at the moment. It's more support, Yeah, we're definitely with 94 Records and melodic punk style in Europe, but it's more kind of distribution. I don't even really know how well we've done. It was more so they kind of reached out, we kind of went back and forth, and just it's I guess it's more an association because there's no type of financial reward that we've received, and I just don't think that happens anymore unless it's the next level stage, if that makes sense. And as well, we're not after that. We just want to play shows and release and have our music out there. So it's kind of good for us. It's good for them, I guess.
Yeah, look, especially this day and age with the streaming services and whatnot. You know what I mean? Yeah. It really makes it hard on labels to even make money and whatnot. But it's good that you actually have people like that in your corner to help distribute your music as well, to help really kind of get it to the next level as well. Takes a lot of stress off your guys' backs.
Well, they do physical releases. They do like CDs and, and records and stuff like that. And then we just push out our own streaming stuff. And sure, we would like, actually, I guess the hardest thing is we'd like more visibility, streaming wise, especially because we do think we've got good songs. We got quite a few good tunes that we think do well. We just would love them to go a little bit further. So hopefully with this next album that we're doing, maybe we get on some better playlist or something kicks off and something does well, and then people can listen to the rest of our stuff, our massive back catalog, and then
all of our fan.
Yeah, we do okay. We do okay.
No, we do good.
And also on September 9th of 2022, you guys actually released my personal favorite project that you guys actually dropped, which is a 6-track album titled Ordinary. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this particular album. And of course, do you guys actually have any hard copies like vinyls, CDs, or cassettes available in this album to actually purchase today?
Yeah, well, it was Ordinary that was released by Melodic Punk Style have this CD. They have the CD for that, and then 94 Records do the vinyl. And I guess what we didn't mention is that basically we do everything ourselves. So we record everything ourselves, and I mix and master it. And really, Ordinary does have great songs, but I also think it's been the best one we've recorded so far, and it sounds the best in terms of production, and how it just actually sounds. So it's kind of, I got my shit together a little bit more. I used to be
You got your own label. You got your own studio now.
Yeah. I used to be an engineer back in Ireland many moons ago, and had to come to America. Wanted to live here, so I kind of had to give all that up. And now I've only started doing it again since I've got back in the band with the guys. So that's probably part of the reason we record so much, because I like doing it. I kind of force these guys to do it.
Yeah, you do.
It's a slave driver, dude.
I'll see you tomorrow, by the way.
Do better.
But also, this past March 18th, you guys actually took the stage at the St. Paddy's Hangover. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this particular show. And of course, do you guys actually have any up-and-coming concerts? That way our viewers and listeners can actually snag some tickets to come out and see you guys live in full effect.
Hold on. John or Dustin can tell you about the Hangover show. Shit.
Well, that was actually a really good show. That was a really good show.
It was.
There was a lot.
Which one was that?
I don't remember.
The night before St. Paddy's Day was a busy one. That one was the Hangover where nobody. That wasn't the busy one.
Where everyone was too hungover.
Yeah, exactly. So it was.
No, that was the night before was a good one.
Yeah.
I think I was still pretty the night before for the Hangover.
Going.
That's so good.
Justin, we'll tell you something funny about the Hangover one. So the night before we played St. Paddy's down in the Tower Bar, and it was busy. It was fun. Everybody had a great time. Dustin, I don't know if some smack chick tried it on with Dustin or whatever was going on, but there was lots of funny stuff happening. So the next night was the Hangover, and Dustin arrived at the bar with a bunch of beer in the back of his car. So it wasn't that happening, but then when everybody inside the bar heard that Dustin had a bunch of beer and things in the back of his car, whoever was in the bar vacated the bar and went to the back of Dustin's car. And that was how that show went.
It's true.
That's 100% true.
It was a seltzer brewery.
Dustin, I know you were hungover, man, but all that beer, did you at least charge them any money for the beer? Because I got to say, you could have made a killing just charging half-price beers, man. Say if it's $8 a beer, you charge them like $4.
No, he's not a businessman, obviously.
I would have hustled those people. I would have been like, hey, it's $8 for a beer in there, or you can come to my trunk and get it for $4.
No, but what he did do at the very end was, as I was in cleaning out the rest of my stuff, I came out to leave, and the bartender was obviously well aware that something was going on outside. So Dustin had planted all the empties, like 2 crates of beers, in under my car. So I looked like an absolute dickhead. So I had to try and grab these and get them in my car and get them into a trash can nearby, as well, kind of worried that the cops would pull me over with like 48 or whatever empty beers in my car. So
yeah, he was probably wondering how everyone got so fucked up off seltzer.
He wasn't that stupid. Exactly. He knew something was up.
And guys, before we move on the topic of this show, because obviously I didn't even know you guys actually played the night before. So obviously the night before sounded like it was an absolute amazing time. It sounded like it was packed. It was busy. It was St. Paddy's Day. Of course it was. Obviously the Hangover show, when you say there was a lot of people at the night before, how many people did you actually have at the Hangover one versus the night before?
So there was probably 300 the night before and 3 the night after.
Including the other band.
Yeah. If you take away the other bands, probably 3 on the Hangover night and probably 300 the night before.
Hey, that just showed you guys put on a hell of a show the night before if only 3 people showed back up the next day. It shows that you put on a hell of a party.
You could look at it the other way as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that could go both ways, I guess.
You always got to look at the positive, guys. And I heard your guys' music, so I know you guys can put on a hell of a great show. So we're just going to lean towards the fact that you put on a hell of a show and they were too messed up the next day to come back out.
Well, we'll go with that one. That sounds good to us.
Definitely.
Let the history books be written.
Yeah.
And also, I know you guys said throughout the interview how much you guys are always in the studio versus shows and whatnot. And I actually read that you guys revealed on your Facebook page on March 26th that you probably have enough material for a full-length album. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about these unreleased songs. And of course, do you actually have any plans to actually put these together as an album, or are they ultimately shelved for this foreseeable future?
No, these guys hate me. Let's just get that out there right now, because what's happened is I go back to Ireland. I'm obviously from Ireland, or people think I'm from Australia, Africa, whatever. It's Ireland anyway. So I go back to Ireland all the time. I have to go back in the summer again. So I'm like, guys, Ireland's really boring for me because I have to go back to my family and stuff, and just it's a pain in the backside. So I like having something to do. So these guys thought we were going to do a couple of songs, maybe record an EP, but I pulled out my phone and all the old recordings I had, and I just demoed about how many songs. Well, Greg's got about 4 or 5, so we've got something like 12 or 13 songs. And Dustin was like, "What? I thought we had 4."
I thought it was 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So tomorrow, I've talked Dustin into starting tomorrow. We're going to start laying some drums tomorrow, and then we're going to lay some drums on Saturday, and hopefully get it completed. And this is honestly the way we do it. Like, Dustin's checked the songs out. I've done the guide tracks, just guitars and click. Dustin will check it out, and we'll go, and we'll pretty much just construct it then and there. Dustin's good enough that he can get the drums in and there, and we'll, go over certain parts. Dustin will do the drums. I'll then get John and Greg in. They'll throw their the bass and guitar down. I'll have my guitars on there when in between doing stuff, and then we'll just do vocals and just mix and master it. So that'll give me a lot to do over in Ireland. So over in Ireland in the summer, I'll just get my head down and try and get a really good mix this time, and try and make it something that we can all be proud of.
Yep.
And I have to ask, what is next for Taking on Waters? Like, is there anything we missed during this evening's interview? Anything else you guys still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on the Canadian FM dial this evening.
Got a couple of cool shows coming up. We're playing with Jason Cruz from Strung Out, his band. Are they called Jason Cruz and the Howls? Is that it? You guys know?
Cruz and Howl, yeah.
Yeah, we're playing with those guys pretty soon, and then we're playing with Punk Rock Karaoke during the summer. And we've got some other things in the pipeline, but they're kind of the bigger shows that we got coming up.
And we're playing just across Canada with your help, sir.
Oh yeah. You know what?
Rio is our first target.
Personal request. I see you always kind of, with Gob. If we could get us a show with Gob, that would make my lifetime. I'm a massive Gob fan.
Oh, I gotta say, I'm a massive Gob fan myself. When I started this station, one of my first interviews was actually Gabe, the drummer of Gob, and I couldn't believe it. And then we actually started talking, and now I just help promote their stuff. They're actually really cool guys, man. I'm trying to get Tom on an interview, but he's so busy with the Sum 41 stuff that it's actually hard to line anything up with him. So hopefully after the summer tour, we can get him on the radio station.
Well, my brother went to Canada, especially to see Gob when he was about 22. So we all, Gob don't know this, but they got a big following in the very north coast of Ireland. So
I can actually say, as a Gob fan, I've never seen them live, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because I had so many opportunities, but it was I have terrible luck when it comes to concerts. Either back then a ride fell through, back then tickets happened to be canceled or something like that. So I've never got a chance to see them. So I'm hoping that Tom does some more stuff with Gob and gives us one more album and a tour, so I can have that redemption and actually make that happen.
That would be super cool. They're an awesome band.
But obviously, guys, I know how to follow you guys on social media. But for the individuals that are listening that might not be following you guys, how can they go about following you on all social media platforms?
I think the easiest way to check out our stuff is if you go to our website. We kind of have links to everything there. You can see our videos, you can check our social media, you can go to our streaming stuff. So it's all just takingonwater.band. And then Dustin or John should say that in a proper accent that people understand.
Takingonwater.band.
There you go. That sounds good. I understood that.
Yeah. Nailed it.
And I'm going to say first and foremost. Oh, I'm sorry, but I was just going to say, first and foremost, guys, thank you so much for just giving us a bit of your time here this evening and sliding into the 99.9 FM airwaves. It was such an honor to speak with you guys, and hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon, and hopefully we can get you guys down to Canada for an amazing performance, because I got to say, Canada needs bands like yourselves down here.
We love
We need Canada.
Having us here. We need Canada.
I love Canada, dude. Canada's one of my favorites. We need to go to Ontario.
I definitely second that. So any promoters that are listening, you know what to do. You have the social media handles. You heard the story. Freaking book them. That's all you have to do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
But you're most certainly welcome, guys. Definitely have yourself a phenomenal night. Enjoy spring break. And Patty, definitely safe travels back home to Ireland, man. And of course, safe travels coming back to San Diego, California.
Awesome. Thank you, dude.
You're most certainly welcome, guys. Have yourself a great night.
So long, Chip. Bye.
Thanks, brother.